I put a post out a little while ago asking if anybody had any requests for topics that they'd like to see covered. And 2 folks got back to me. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. And the first topic was about how I treat mites and deal with mites. So Daniel, I'm just going to ask you to be patient and sit tight because I start my mite treatment program like mid to late August. So it's pretty much right around the corner. We'll definitely get to that in detail. And the next topic was from, I'm going to apologize ahead of time for completely butchering your screen name. Aliaskis or Alias Kiss or neither of those. I'm sorry. I know what teachers go through now in the first day of school. You asked for a video on dealing with cross comb in foundationless frames. Cross comb occurs no matter what kind of frame style you choose to use. It does happen most common in foundationless and is least forgiving. Way back in the beginning when I started reading up on beekeeping, I learned about the 3 types of frame choices. And all confused, of course, I went to a beekeeping forum and asked the question there. And why wouldn't I get the responses that I got? Basically, 33% of people said foundationless, that's the way to go. 33% said wax foundation. And then 33% said those guys are idiots, use plastic foundation. So I had no choice but to conduct my own experiment and use all 3. And by year 3, I'm going to guess, I had settled on plastic foundation. It meets my needs and works just fine for me. I'm not here to talk you out of foundationless and try to push you towards plastic. That was my choice. I don't have the patience for the challenges that came along with foundationless. Maybe you do, and you welcome that challenge, and I encourage you to do that. We're going to cover in this video today, first off, what is cross comb, why the bees have a tendency to do it under certain circumstances, and things that we as beekeepers can do to help prevent cross comb from happening, and what to do once we see it start happening. Cross comb is just basically when bees draw their wax and their comb across the frames instead of within the frames. Normally, bees are we want them to draw from the top bar down as one sheet of wax to the bottom bar within that frame. Cross comb is they're just doing it that way. The reason why this video is specific to foundationless is because it's more of a challenge with foundationless and it's less forgiving. And basically because if you have foundation and they decide to build across a frame, they're only going to be able to go from between 2 frames because there's foundation in blocking them from continuing right through. With foundationless, you got a frame and you have 8 or 10 of them in your box, and they may just decide, we're going to build comb, from here all the way out, and just make all the individual pieces of, comb this way for them to do everything they need to do. That would work totally fine for them, but it doesn't work for us at all because now not only can you not remove a frame, you can't remove any frame. And that would defeat the purpose of removable frames. Try to remember, bees don't view things like we do. Like, they're not going to view this as a frame. They're not going to view 10 of these as 10 frames. They just see the space. They don't know that we need them to draw from top down here. They're meeting their needs. So we have to come up with ways to reduce the chances of them doing what they would naturally do and kind of manipulate them to doing what we want to do. There are some things that we can do to help reduce the chances of cross comb. So the first thing that we can do is make sure that the hive is leveled from side to side. You don't want your hive to be, listing to one side or the other, because the frames will still be hanging down straight. We do want to have a little bit of a forward pitch on the hive though. So don't get your hives perfectly level side to side and forward and back. They just need to be level side to side. You want a little bit of a forward pitch so that water can drain out of the hive should it get in there. You can make sure all your frames are pushed together. If there's any extra space in a box, especially in a brand new brood box, you're going to have a little extra space. You want that extra space split between both ends of the hive. All your frames should be pushed together tight and centered. Using foundation is probably the biggest step to help reduce the chances of cross-comb. The purpose of this video is focusing on foundationless beekeeping. So the in-between for that is you can use what we call starter strips. You can take some foundation and just cut a little strip, along the whole frame and insert it in the top of your frame, the top bar, all the way across, maybe 1.5 to 2 inches. It just basically gives them a little guide to get them going and kind of sets that boundary. You definitely want to perform regular inspections because you want to catch cross comb when it starts so that you can act immediately and scrape it out and start over again. You don't want to wait too long and they've already done quite a bit of damage, and then it's just a big setback and a bigger mess. And keeping a well-populated and happy, healthy hives. When bees are well-populated, they have a workforce and they have a really strong flow going on and the resources they need to get the work done, things just tend to go much smoother. So that's about it for cross-comb. Maybe the video actually will help some of you decide if you want to run foundationless or not. Again, I'm not trying to talk anybody out of it, but there are definitely challenges that come along with it. If you choose to run foundationless, I hope the information you found in this video to be helpful and point you in the right direction. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.